Hey everyone, this is Dan Edson with Highlight My Town. We're here in Peculiar today at the Tuscany Subdivision because this is a really exciting growth story here in Peculiar, and I'm joined by the Economic Services Director, Dylan Eppert. Thanks for giving us the inside scoop of what's going on here in Peculiar in 2026.
Yeah, Dan, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the time.
Dylan, we just saw the final plots of Woodland Trails and Tuscany come through. These are large, beautiful lots, but the locals here worry about losing the Peculiar charm. Can you tell us what the city is doing to keep Peculiar like Peculiar?
The big thing, Dan, is I've been here about a year, and so I'm still kind of learning the community, being out and about, learning kind of what the community's needs are. And one of the biggest things that we have found through those needs are re-looking at the code and finding out what is going to fit better for what Peculiar is. Our current code was adopted back in 2009, and so obviously a lot has happened since then. And so we're actually going through that process now, where we're actually going through and looking at every bit of code and seeing what is feasible, what is needed to hopefully still try and keep the small town feel, but also make sure that we're a community for not only current residents, but future residents.
Dylan, we have an awesome subdivision here in Peculiar. It's called Meadow Brooks East, another 44 lots coming to Peculiar. My buyers often ask me, how is the city keeping up with the infrastructure as far as coordinating with the school district and the Main Street traffic, making sure that the infrastructure keeps up with the growth?
So Dan, it's a great question, and honestly, we're very excited to have Meadow Brooks Lakes East come to town. We've seen a lot of interest in Peculiar, and so obviously the biggest step is the planning phase. That not only involves internal staff, but also external customers, and that's the school district, that's MoDOT, and then that's the developer also working with the community surrounding during that process. And so one of the big things that we look at is with the school district, we meet with them every month. Myself as well as a couple of others surrounding cities meet with the school district on a monthly basis to just try and figure out what their needs are, where our growth is coming from, and make sure that they are well suited and well prepared for that growth that's coming. But when it comes to working with traffic, we make all developers come in with a traffic study that kind of shows where the traffic is going to be and if there needs to be any road improvements to make sure that increased traffic is not only helped but gained in a way that is sufficient for the community, not just currently but in the future. And so lots of preparing, lots of planning goes into that, but definitely excited to see several subdivisions coming to town and hopefully providing a future home for a current resident or a future resident here in Peculiar.
Dylan, people move here to Peculiar for the quiet lifestyle, but they still want the coffee shop, the local coffee shop, the boutique, and the retail business. What has the city seen for commercial development recently, and what do you expect in the future?
Well, recently, Scooters Coffee has started building, so they're hoping a tentative opening for about beginning to mid of March. And so we're excited for that, having a new coffee shop in town and obviously being on a prime location there off the C Highway. Definitely exciting, and so we're hoping for a lot of growth just based upon a commercial business like that coming to town. With that being said, we've also had another business being Peculiar Golf, who they opened back in 2004 and have been a staple here in the community for a long time. Recently came to the city and wanted to expand on that, and we were able to work with the business owner to get that expansion done. And that expansion consists of 2 different golf simulators with like a seating area in between. So you should definitely go and check that out if you're into golf, and even if you're not, it's still a very fun time. So I would go check out those couple of places, and hopefully that'll start bringing in a little bit more commercial growth and seeing other commercial businesses coming in and being successful here.
Dylan, we've seen the behind-the-scenes infrastructure work going on as far as the 2026 budget is concerned, specifically the northern water system improvements. What does this mean for the average Peculiar citizen who doesn't see these projects, and how will it improve the home values here in the area and improve the water system?
Sure. So that project is a $2.5 million project, and that actually connects up to essentially Kansas City Water Supply District, where we get our water, which obviously water is a necessity for all life here in Peculiar, and so the hugest benefit is obviously life. But aside from that, it's growth. And so with that being said, growth is coming because there's now going to be a better, more reliable water source that can be had where before a four-inch water line was being fed to the main part of the town, and that is not sustainable for any length of time. And kind of going more into our infrastructure, we've invested a lot more money into what would be a sleeving project for essentially all clay tile pipe here in town, which a lot of that affects our downtown area for our sanitary sewer system. And so we have broken clay tile and those types of things where now it's going to be repaired and replaced. And that's going to be all done at once. So it will not be a phased project. It will all be done in about 3 weeks. It's almost $1 million project. But this is something that the citizens of Peculiar have not seen. Historically, we've been very bad about replacing infrastructure, and we have very old, aging infrastructure. And so when other people from outside the city start seeing that type of investment from the city, that's when hearts and minds get changed about what's going on here, and maybe they get a little more interested in coming here to town. And so I'm very excited to see all that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say, with our new city engineer, we've always had third-party contractors work for us. We now have an in-house city engineer, and her name is Jill Bruss, and she has come to us from MoDOT. So obviously there's a huge partnership there that still remains with Jill being on our staff, and a huge experience that she has and brings to the table, where we're now doing a lot of projects in-house instead of hiring out to a third-party contractor. And so hopefully some cost savings with that to hopefully do even better projects into the future. So this is really just a wait and see. It's a new day here in Peculiar.
Great. Let's talk about the Peculiar advantage. I help home buyers here in the city quite often. What would you say is an economic advantage for people looking to move to Peculiar?
Dan, I think that the biggest thing here for anyone looking to come to Peculiar, or anyone already here, it's a small town feel, but you still have amenities very close by. We always say it's 6 minutes north or 6 minutes south, but at the same point, you also don't have all the traffic that you have to deal with here in town when you're here. So we're trying to build kind of a place where it's a live, work, and play, but we have not gotten to that point yet. We're hoping to kind of change that, and with that being said, we also have a huge school district that is the biggest supporter here for town, and that's kind of the biggest draw, is that people are looking for good school districts when they're moving to the area. And so with that being said, biggest thing here, you have a little bit of breathing room. Houses are a little bit cheaper. You still have close amenities, but the school district is going to be kind of the crown jewel for the reason a lot of people move here. And so happy to have a great school district and a partnership with them. And looking forward to anyone who wants to move here, and be happy to answer any questions.
So we're here in Tuscany, and there's a lot of developing going on here in this subdivision by D.R. Horton especially. Talk to me about the price point. The price point of the homes are great and the quality's good. How has this partnership been for this subdivision?
Price point's been good. I know that D.R. Horton kind of ran into some issues with more people are wanting ranch style homes. And so one of the codes that we have in Peculiar is an anti-monotony code. And so we make sure that no house really looks the same when you're looking left or right from a house. And so that's been kind of a challenge for them in ways, because obviously they have ranch style homes and two-story homes. However, the two stories have just not been as popular. And so they've kind of had to go back to the drawing board and work with staff, and they've done an excellent job working with us in every way that they possibly can. It has been a very good partnership between D.R. Horton and the city. But as far as price point, they're definitely hitting the mark with the kind of the sweet spot in that 350 range to 400 range. And they're seeing a lot of interest. And obviously we're standing here in Tuscany 2, where they have Tuscany 3, 4, and 5 that are approved, totaling 149 lots.
So there'll be a lot of developing going on here in this subdivision.
Absolutely, absolutely there will be. And it's already been approved, so everything, we're really just waiting on building permits for those remaining phases of development. So all the planning stuff's been phased out, and it's done. It's just waiting on building permits. So you'll see a lot of vertical construction going on in the next 2 years or so.
Hey Dylan, this has been great, kind of an insider information. I appreciate you joining us today.
Absolutely, Dan. Thank you very much.
And as your local expert with Home Connection Team KC, I'm here to help you buy and sell a home here in the area. If you're looking to buy one of these great new lots here in Peculiar, or you're looking to sell your home, I'll see you around town.